Good morning, dear viewers and listeners. On the happy occasion of this Saturday, January 22nd, 2022, which coincides with the second anniversary of IINTOA, I'm Bondan Nurdianto, feel proud and happy to present and convey the history and some information about IINTOA to you. This information will be delivered in Indonesian and English. Happy listening. What is IINTOA? IINTOA stands for Indonesia Inbound Tour Operators Association, is an independent association where this union is a shelter for businessmen or leaders of tours and travel agencies whose activities to plan and carry out tourist trips from the country of origin to the territory of the Republic of Indonesia in collaboration with tour wholesalers and or tour operators abroad based on B2B. The entrepreneurs of the inbound tour operators agreed to unite their intention and determination in advancing Indonesian tourism through this association, with the main goal is to make tourism the main foreign exchange earner for Indonesia. The players who specialize and focus their main business on inbound tourism are commonly referred to as inbound tour operators. The organizer of the inbound tour operators in the form of companies is an important tourism industry that is a source of foreign exchange income and is part of the national development system. So, its development and activities cannot be separated from one another. This association accommodates various roles and or aspiration of like-minded members who have the same passion and profession as inbound tour operators in order to increase professionalism, build member capacity, global competitiveness, and be able to serve and or protect members proportionally and professionally. This association can provide input and consideration to the government for the advancement of Indonesian tourism, especially bringing in foreign tourists through members of the association, which are managed based on the principles of professionalism, transparency, democracy, honest, fair, and accountability. What is the background for the birth of IINTOA? In June 2019, precisely in Nusa Dua, Bali, on June 24th, the day before the BBTF or Bali and Beyond Travel Fair began, dozens of Indonesian inbound tour players, seniors and juniors, gathered and sat together at one table discussing and looking for answers about why the number of foreign tourists coming to Indonesia is still far behind that of foreign tourists coming to neighboring countries. Starting and referring to the questions, at the end of the discussion on that day, the leaders of the Indonesian inbound tourism had reached a similar opinion, like-minded, and agreed that after all this time it had been overlooked by national tourism stakeholders, now was the time for inbound tourism in Indonesia must be handled by an association of players who specialize and focus their main business on inbound tourism, which will become the government's equal partner in an effort to gain the main foreign exchange for Indonesia. This agreement gave the participants the task to begin to design and propose the name of the association, the logo of the association, as well as the draft their statutes and bylaws, or anggaran dasar and anggaran rumah tangga of the association. In December 2019, the draft had been purged with the circulation of the name of the association and its logo draft, as well as the draft statutes and bylaws of this association. This month, it was agreed by the initiators and other participants to hold a plenary meeting in Jakarta in January 2020. Precisely on January 21st, 22nd, 2020, gathered a number of initiators, participants of the Bali meeting, as well as other inbound tourism players who were not present in Bali to hold a plenary meeting at the Haris Vertu Hotel in Jakarta. The plenary meeting was held in a marathon with a serious discussion on the improvement of the name and logo of the association, as well as the main discussion of the statutes and bylaws. At the end of the plenary meeting, it was agreed that the name of the association was IINTOA, stands for Indonesian Inbound Tour Operators Association, and the formulation team was formed to perfect the association statutes and bylaws and determine the notary who would issue the association deed of establishment. January 22nd, 2020 is also agreed as the date of birth of IINTOA. In February 2020, the name, logo, the statutes, and bylaw of the association has been established and is planned to be launched in March 2020. But due to the outbreak of the very dangerous COVID-19 pandemic, everything planned was delayed. It is hoped that after the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown is over, sometime in June 2020, IINTOA launching will be carried out. Why should we set up a new association called IINTOA while there is already another association that has inbound fields? The answer is, the other association is a large-scale association that houses a number of companies that do business in various fields in the tourism industry, especially those related to the sale of travel-related services such as inbound tourism, outbound tourism, domestic tourism, pilgrimage tourism, tourism schools, and many more. To be honest, recognized or not, a few years back, because of the vast and wide scope of their field, that particular association must divide its focus into all of those fields, so that, in this case, the field of inbound tourism is often overlooked in the sense that it is not specifically addressed and all out by its board members and administrators. The establishment of associations with similar professions and focus on just one field is the right of the community to associate. Regarding this, IINTOA as a brand new association has been explained as mentioned before accordingly. IINTOA never wanted to compete with any association, and instead IINTOA wanted to go hand in hand and synergize with other associations. Let other associations take care of their own homework to protect and support their varied fields, and IINTOA encourages its members who purely do business and focus on handling the field of inbound tourism alone. IINTOA frees its members to become members of any association. What is prohibited, based on IINTOA's bylaw, is that IINTOA administrators such as the chairman, general secretary, and general treasury are not permitted to become administration of those other similar associations. What are the plus points or benefits when joining IINTOA? As I explained before, IINTOA membership is limited to BPW or Biro Perjalanan Wisata or tour operators, the companies that have a legal entity and who have carried out their business in bringing foreign tourists to Indonesia. That particular Biro Perjalanan Wisata that also run a business on outbound tourism, pilgrim tourism, and or other travel-related services is not a problem. The most important thing is that the company can prove itself that it has also run an inbound tourism business with its own market source, respectively, both large and small scale. For companies in areas outside Jawa Bali that are partners and receive an abundance of tourists from tour operators who are assigned to them, are also allowed to become members of IINTOA. Back to the question, what is a plus point or benefit when joining IINTOA? The answer is as follows. 1. IINTOA is established by seniors who have traveled throughout the world and experienced the ups and downs of doing business as inbound tour operators for more than 5 decades. Those seniors, in general, have experiences in participating in sales promotion activities such as WTM in London, ATF Pata Travel Mart, ITB Berlin, BIT Milan, JATA Japan, etc., etc., and have made personal sales or sales calls in various countries. They can be a reliable and competent resource person and willing to share the knowledge to its members, especially to the juniors, who seriously want to pursue and develop the inbound tourism business in their respective companies. 2. The junior members who have an obsession to become big players of inbound tourism will be able to gain knowledge about various aspects of inbound tourism by attending various training that will be held by IINTOA. 3. Sharing knowledge is intended through pieces of training that will be scheduled by the IINTOA board, carried out by seniors both in classroom or in the webinar form. That will be scheduled and personal assistance for those in need in the form of informal consultations with seniors who are chosen by themselves for their own activities. 4. We know that nowadays there are a lot of wild practices that come along and exist. Misconduct in handling foreign tourists whose presence is often unfavorable for Indonesia's image as one of the world-class tourist destinations. Trading like that is often made disordered, unfair competition, slamming prices, monopolistic practices, individual businesses that are not incorporated, etc., etc. 5. The presence of IINTOA as an equal partner of the government is expected to be a think tanker of Kemenparekraf in issuing various policies in regulating trade system and health promotion, as well as the company's existence in the field of inbound tourism. 6. IINTOA will carry out business methods that are adapted to the development of ICT, or Information, Communication, and Technology, in line with the globalization era, namely digital or online-based business. In addition to doing business based on B2B, IINTOA is also pursuing to get foreign tourists to book their B2C-based trips. 7. Online trading transactions or e-commerce in Indonesia have a bright future, and Marketplace is one of the biggest players in Indonesia's e-commerce business. We are fully aware that the Marketplace is an intermediary between sellers and buyers in cyberspace. Marketplace sites act as third parties in online transactions by providing a place to sell and payment facilities. You could say the Marketplace is an online store department. So far, tourism in the country doesn't have a marketplace owned by the Indonesian people who have directly helped and fully support the inbound tour operators in Indonesia. IINTOA has established the latest synergy with several leading marketplaces. Those marketplaces give privileges to IINTOA members who incidentally are inbound tour players to become suppliers to market and sell their respective products. This particular marketplace gives flexibility to small teams representing IINTOA to become qualified curators for inbound players who are members of IINTOA. In the marketplace, IINTOA members will be provided with a link to their respective websites so that it is possible for members to also sell directly to consumers through their respective websites. For those who want to market and sell domestic tours, IINTOA has also been in synergy with some leading marketplace and also gets special privileges in it. IINTOA Vision and Mission. Vision: to become a leading inbound tour operator association in Indonesia that offers and provides world-class services through its members to the global community who will travel and tour within various tourist destinations of the Republic of Indonesia. While the mission is, through ongoing public relations and consumer awareness activities, IINTOA provides enlightenment and knowledge to the world community who will take a vacation supported by a well-packaged tour to Indonesia. For the benefit and fostering the trust of its members, IINTOA provides benefits through holding various tourism-based workshops, seminars, and integrated training on organizing inbound tourism trips in particular. Through its motto, Integrated in Sustainable Inbound Tourism Businesses, and its tagline, Your Partners to Wonderland, IINTOA encourages its members to always meet competency standards and comply with excellent service standards, behave ethically, do business professionally, which includes and represent all facts, conditions, and requirements related to tour packages and honest and accurate vacations, and continuously pursue the active role of members in the development of various tourism products. Thank you.